Good morning, y'all. Um, Before I start today's post, I want to give a disclaimer. The things that I'm about to say now, if you want these things or you have been able to achieve these things, doesn't mean that you're a bad person, doesn't mean that you're part of the Illuminati, doesn't mean that you're a do-boy, none of these types of things. This is just a warning to our people. I've been noticing how so many artists, they want to be awarded for something that they're supposed to be great at regardless, and you're supposed to be satisfied inside. Remember this, people. If you're being rewarded by the same system that you are criticizing, then 9 times out of 10 something isn't right. I'm not saying that that's the case all the time. I'll give you an example. I always lecture about Martin and Malcolm and the differences and the similarities between those two great men. But I would always wonder why there's so many streets named after Martin Luther King and not too many streets, I should say, that are named after Malcolm. There's a reason for that. White society has a way of encapsulating this one small period of Dr. Martin Luther King's life, when he was just talking about peace and hope and all these types of things. They encapsulated that moment, murdered the man, and that's what they paint to America. Because they've always wanted us to be this forgiving, hoping, docile group of people. So in me saying that, I ask you, only if your mission is to change things for our people, be wary when you're getting these awards from the same system that oppresses you, and the same types of people that oppress you, because usually when they are rewarding you, they're not rewarding you for your music. They're not rewarding you for how well you played basketball, football, or how well you were able to sing. Look at what the NBA is doing to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Look at what football did to Jim Brown. Even to a certain degree, Walter Payton. These people were great from a number of perspectives, but you barely ever see them being honored by the system. The same thing with revolutionary acts as it pertains to music. A person like Bob Marley was so great that they had to co-opt, but never really focus. They focus on the weed and not truly the words. So in me saying that, you guys be very, very careful of not being caught up in those shiny things. Because at the end of the day, there was an artist that I was talking to. He was really upset that he was not getting the type of shine that his contemporaries were. And I told him, I said, bro, at the end of the day, you do soul music. And you don't know what this other person is giving up to be in the position that they're in. So be careful with wanting to be accepted by this system. As long as when you throw a show, it's packed every time. That's all that fucking matters. In my career personally, all I care about is melanated people globally. I hope everybody else loves my music. I hope everybody else invests in my music. But I make my people for a specific reason, for a specific purpose. And I had a staff meeting very early this morning telling them, like, we're about to put the God box out. The light is about to be shined on us again. But I said, don't forget, people, that we are the shine. And if people want to give us these awards, if they want to, you know, shine some light on us, okay, we know that that's what our people like. We accept it, we go, but we go with a purpose. And I told them, you guys make sure that I don't get caught up, because we have a tendency of talking this shit, and then as soon as we get in that position, we start dancing and smiling too. You know, that's what I always tell people. I'm very slow to trust people who say they'll never sell out, or they'll never do this, and they never will do that. You don't know what the fuck you'll do when that opportunity is given to you. That's why you put people around you that keep you in check, just in case. You know, I know what my intentions are. It's funny, I was telling people, like, even when I did my Uzi, I said, I'm trying not to wear Jordan clothes. You know, I still put on a pair of J's every now and then, because, you know, that's what was important to us doing in my generation. So, you know, if I see a pair of threes, especially if they're original, or fours, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to jump on them just fives or sixes, you know what I'm saying? But my intentions are not to do that, you know. So in me saying that, you guys be careful. Another thing that I want to tell you about is watch who's around you when stuff is good. I want to give y'all a quick example. Something that I noticed after I pulled away from the system. When you're on these major labels, or when you're working with these major companies, they always put cool people around you, like people who look like you. In the case of the music industry, they would always put, you know, a real cool black dude, or a real cool white dude, or just somebody who was cool. They would plant them inside your crew, and they really make you feel like these people were your friends, or they were really feeling your music, but they were really just plants for the labels to know what you were doing, or to control you, or to know your temperament. In my case, they went back and told them I really had guns and I had an anger problem, but at least they knew how to deal with me. So, like, they manipulated me in different ways than they did other artists. They actually manipulated me through my hard work. Like, they kept me working, they kept me occupied. You know, I was talking about yesterday, a couple of posts back, where I shouldn't have put out my second album. As great as it was, it thwarted the ability for my first album to truly be great. So watch the people who they put around you. Like, you place the people around you, keep a really tight circle, you know, because similar to how I told y'all about Shine, they put people around you that say the shit that you want to hear. You know, there's somebody who's a very good friend of mine in the music industry, and I know why his people don't want me around him, because if I was around him, I wouldn't let him do the shit that he does. Or at least I'd tell him to his face, that's fucked up, dog. You shouldn't be doing that shit. But I know that they didn't put a whole bunch of people in his ear that tell him that, you know, he's never wrong. And I understand that, and he grown, so we let him do what he do. But, you know, it hurts me to see them literally emasculate our men, you know, in front of the public. But we need to protect ourselves and make sure that we're vested in our community, because as much as we don't want to be role models, or we don't want to be revolutionaries, as long as our people are in love with that idiot box, and as long as our people are addicted to their phones, like, we sort of got to get inside of those things in order to get our people out of them, you know. So, you know, that's one of the things that I wanted to tell you guys about. Just, you know, and I give you, I'm going to go back to one thing. I talked about this before. My first album, Mississippi the album, the one that, you know, went gold, and the one that the, you know, magazine said was one of the, you know, greatest albums of that year. That was the same album that I was putting out independently. I was going to literally sell that same album out of the trunk. And if New York wouldn't have put that stamp on that, if that white company wouldn't have, you know, put their stamp on it, 9 times out of 10, my people would have, you know, I would have sold, I would have did all right, you know, on the streets, but it wasn't classic. I wasn't considered to be great until somebody else said I was. And that's just terrible. Like, we should start our own shows, you know, give ourselves awards. You know, I don't need the awards. All I need is my people. But since we like shiny things, that's one thing that I have to give shout out to the Black Power Awards in Atlanta. Like, it was packed wall to wall like a real award show. Or it was a real award show, excuse me. I didn't mean that. But a group of black people got together and awarded people from out of the community who's doing real work. And me and Sister Cyrock hosted it, and it was beautiful. It was phenomenal. So imagine if we did that for ourselves. I even give you guys another example. My contemporaries used to laugh at me because when I first got on and I went to the BET Awards, I used to always dress up, and everybody used to say, like, why are you dressing up? And I said, because regardless of how we feel, you know, about BET, this is what black people consider to be a black award ceremony. So I'm going to give the same effort to this award ceremony as I would to any other award ceremony, because this is our shit. You know what I'm saying? It's similar to a lot of actors that I see, or some black actors I see. Like, when I see them on a black movie set, like, people trip. Like, when I'm on a black movie set or a black production, I'm very serious. You know, make sure I know, even though that's the way that I am, period, I go overtime for our shit because it represents black people. But I see a lot of people who do the exact opposite. When they come to a black set, they late, they cussing, they loud, you know, they lazy. But when they doing stuff for white folks, you know, they here and they're present and they're soft-spoken. And I'm like, man, what the fuck, yo? So, like, I think it's up to us to love on each other, love on ourselves. It's really, really strange to me. I even see this in politics. I see it in movies. I see it in music. We allow our oppressors, or we allow another group of people to pick our leaders for us. We don't see value, in most cases, in our people unless somebody else say they hot. And then we criticize them when they don't fuck with us. But to be honest with you, besides values, they really shouldn't, because in a lot of cases, we treat them like shit. Or we don't support them until another group of people tell us that they hot. Like, I don't need nobody else to tell me I'm dope. I just need y'all to support me, you know? And until our people get that mind state, I just want y'all to be careful about who they award and who they say are leaders and the people who they stick in front of television. Like, I be watching CNN and I be really asking myself, who the fuck told these people that they represent black people? Like, who the fuck said that this dude, you know, speaks on behalf of all black men, or love, or whatever the fuck? Like, who said that shit? Who put them up there? You know, who qualified them? Who took a vote? Like, I don't get that shit. And then I realized that it's all programming. It's all, they are literally programming our minds. So they put people, and 9 times out of 10, or 8, you know, it's highly probable that the people that they pick, unless they're so hot in the black community, it's people who serve their purpose. So I need y'all to think about that. I love y'all. Look at that. Back in the office. Bless y'all. The God box. Peace.